If you have clicked on this video, I'm assuming you want to start dominating your fights like pros. In this video I'm going to cover how to properly fight in Fortnite because it's a lot more than what you may think. If you enjoy, drop a like, subscribe and always use code MANZANOSIS.
Okay, so firstly I want to focus on the main peaks when approaching someone that are used when someone's based in a box. So when you take their wall, a commonly used peak by most players is this top right hand corner peanut butter edit. But you want to make sure that when you are confirming this edit, you're over towards the left hand side of the box, as this gives you a good field of view on the players getting tagged, but the opponent finds it much more difficult to hit a shot on you. Secondly, when you are also using this edit, you want to make sure that you're not confirming the edit too early and try and stay behind the grey line, as you guys can see, because otherwise if you confirm the edit too early, you guys can see that the opponent can easily get damage on you. So next up we have the window peaks. Now obviously the middle window peak is actually larger when you edit it than the side window peak. So how can you use these to advantage? Well, actually you can do the same peak for both of these edits. If you do the middle tile edit, you want to make sure you're crouching into this, hit a right hand peak and then quickly reset the edit. As you guys can see, you can deal damage on your opponent but they can't on you. Now like I said, whilst you can use this for the middle window tile edit, which is bigger, you mainly want to be using it on these side edits. As you can see, they are smaller than the window edit. Same sort of strategy, you go up, crouch into it, hit a shot on your opponent and reset the wall, and they get no damage on you whatsoever. Lastly, I want to focus on peaks to use when you have the health advantage over your opponent. So there are two common ones which you use. These involve the bottom right hand corner edit. Now this allows you to be able to see your opponent's head if positioned correctly, and again this is only used when you have the health advantage. As you guys can see, we can tag the opponent in the head but they cannot tag us. Now again, we have the 4 right hand corner edit, and if you stick to the left hand side of this wall here, this allows you to have a right hand peak on your opponent, but again if you are positioned correctly sticking to the wall, you can tag them in the head and they cannot tag you. So next I want to talk about how to use peace when properly setting up on your opponent's wall, because so many people just go straight up to your opponent's wall and try to double pickaxe it straight away, but this can lead to them editing on you and being able to get a shot. Now like you say, when your opponent replaces the wall, they also have the opportunity to hit a Prefire. Now this is why you don't see many pros doing double pickaxes, because a good player will be able to time their shot in between when you try and break their wall and they replace it, meaning they've just Prefired you and you have taken damage, and they've also managed to hold the wall. Now the next strategy to set up on someone's wall is to actually fight from them from a diagonal box. Now this is because instead of fighting just from the straight, if you fight from the diagonal box, you have the opportunity to play multiple different right hand peaks. For example, if your opponent opens an edit on this wall, you have the opportunity to play this right hand peak here and you get a shot exposed, allowing them to take damage. Now not only that, you can not just apply pressure on this wall or the top, you can also apply pressure on the left hand wall here. And again, your opponent could make a similar open edit trying to take damage, and if you are stuck to the left hand side of this wall, your opponent can't see you but you can see them for damage tags. And like I say, this allows you to just apply pressure all over the box, not only on top but to both walls on the side. Next I want to focus on how to fight defensive players, as the often player you fight these days tends to box up just like this. Now instead of just running up to their wall and trying to pickaxe them like so, because again this can get punished like we just showed, you want to try and block off the exits which this player could take. Now what exactly do I mean by this? Well, opposites such as pre-piece, where you could pre-piece a box, so if your opponent walks into the box you have that full pre-piece. You then have every edit and already expect to have the shot on the player when they don't expect you to. Now again, if you block off this angle and your opponent doesn't run into there, you can try and take hints from what the opponent is doing. For example, if they edit their cone forwards, you might then predict that they're going to go out the left hand side. And a simple open edit such as with the cones above and below means that this opponent is therefore stuck and literally can't do anything in that box. They're eventually just a free kill for you. It's just a simple tip to end a fight quick on a defensive player. So next I want to talk about how to properly use your pickaxe when approaching a player's wall. So say you're on a ramp, for example, you want to avoid double pickaxing, as players will edit open and look to try and piece you. However, if you have your shotgun out, you can easily get a tag on them, and from there they're going to panic and you can look for the opportunity to get some pre-piece like we've shown earlier on, allowing you to clean up a fight very, very quick.
As well as this, you can also use the fake pickaxe swing in order to bait your opponent to shooting out of their wall and therefore getting damage on them in return.
So now I want to go over how to use pre-fire in fights, but what actually is a pre-fire? Well, I'll show you. When you're in a box, exactly when your opponent comes over to try and pressure, there is a time in between when they break the wall and when you replace the wall that you can actually deal damage onto them. If you want to practice your pre-fires, I recommend loading into this map. The code is at the top of the description. Head over to the practice and box fight arena and then to the practice pre-fire section. Now here you're going to get some bots spawn in all from different angles, and it allows you to build walls and practice your timing of your pre-fire shots on them. Again, you might start off bad, but over time you can improve with these timings.
Lastly, I want to cover pacing of a fight. So even if you get hit for damage like you can see, you want to try and avoid just boxing up and healing straight away. Instead, look for counter damage such as a pre-fire, which can then flip the timing and speed and momentum of the fight and therefore end up you having the advantage over your enemy and potentially killing them. As well as this, it's also crucial to finish fights as fast as possible via routes such as pre-peace, as this allows you to minimise the chance of getting third-partied in a game. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has helped you out. If it has, make sure you've dropped a like, subscribed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out from me.